My name's Nerida Volker. I've been a dietitian now for over 20 years. I started out at Deakin University, moving away from home in Melbourne and not knowing what a dietitian did. I found the dietetic career in a book. We were looking at career options in Year 12. I liked science, I liked people. I flicked through the book, found podiatry, thought, don't really like feet. Then got to the dietitian page, read a bit about that and thought that sounded really interesting. So I really didn't know what a dietitian did until my first day on placement in my 4th year, in my postgraduate year. So luckily I really have loved the profession, and it's provided me with lots of different opportunities over many years. My first job was in a small country town in New South Wales, a big call for a girl from Melbourne. I worked there for a long time, had quite senior roles working across that region, doing lots and lots of driving and travelling. I then moved to Canberra, had worked in Indigenous health at a national level, and also worked with the Dietitians Association in a professional services role with them. And then I've been working with the Heart Foundation for the last 5 years as their manager of health programs, and the last couple of years have also taken on a PhD in the area of health systems. So my career's been very diverse, and I certainly wouldn't have planned where I've got to now way back when I was a student. What does being a professional mean to me? It means being committed to making a difference in society. It means being part of something bigger and of belonging. I've had lots of jobs over the years where my title hasn't been dietitian, but I always see myself as a dietitian, and I think I always will. But with the role of being a professional comes a lot of responsibility. Responsibility to the people that we're working with, and responsibility to your profession. And that means keeping up to date, having an ongoing, lifelong approach to learning, and that's something that I think makes a professional different. Professional communication is everything. Nobody can ever do anything as an individual. It means certainly about learning to communicate within your profession, so it's working with your colleagues. In health, it's important to learn how to communicate with colleagues in other professions within health, so our medical colleagues, nursing colleagues, other allied health colleagues. And underpinning that means understanding what they do. So that respectful communication is really about how you find out what they do and what's the best way for us all to use our different skills and our different perspectives on an issue and come together for the best outcome for a patient or for a project, depending on the kind of work that we're doing. But I think the most exciting aspect of professional communication in the work that I do now in public health is the communication between professions outside of health. Some of the best work that I've done at the Heart Foundation has been working with urban planners, looking at the built environment and how the built environment can facilitate better eating for communities. So I think we need to often broaden our definition of communication, interprofessional communication, for the wicked problems that our communities face going forward. I think working as a team is about knowing the team. So certainly knowing the attributes of each of the team members. Everybody has a different skill set, a different perspective, a different way of doing business. And all of those attributes are usually really important for a project or for an outcome to be achieved. So it really is getting to know who you're working with in the team. Once again, that respectful communication. So what in difference of opinions is really important to be embraced and to work with, because usually we need a range of different opinions to get to the right answer. So as a young professional, certainly working in a team can be a real challenge, and I would really encourage people to look at their time at university as the best place to start learning how to work as a team. You know, open your eyes to see what the other students are doing within the other faculties, within the other professional groups. Take every opportunity you can to do some interprofessional projects if those opportunities are there. When you go on placement, certainly if you're in the health fields, go and see what the other professions are doing while you're on placement. The other thing that's often missed too is the importance of teamwork with those non-professional colleagues, so administration staff, the key to any team really working. So really look at the teams within those workplaces if you have an opportunity, see how they function, and take all those learnings forward into your future career. Certainly in nutrition and dietetics, you've really got to know people, and you've really got to understand how people different from you eat. It's very unlikely that you will meet many of you when you're consulting in dietetics, or certainly even working in public health. So it's really important to take every opportunity to look outside your life and your what you've been exposed to, and learn about how other people's lives are lived. And those opportunities are through things like volunteering, great opportunity to get involved with community organisations or within NGOs to work on activities that they might be doing. Certainly, even if you have a part-time job, and most students do these days, there's lots of opportunities to learn through those avenues as well. If you just start putting yourself in that role as a dietitian, as a professional, and think about the things you might learn from that environment. The other thing for us is learning about what people eat, how they shop. So being much more vigilant in those everyday activities that you do now, and putting yourself in that professional's role. Because certainly once you become a dietitian, you're a dietitian. Another really important avenue for young professionals in terms of engaging with the profession early and learning about how to be a good professional is to engage with your professional association. Most professional associations would have a student membership category, and that's a really great opportunity. Number one, to learn a bit more about your profession, the opportunities in the profession, the types of jobs dietitians are undertaking. Great source of professional development for you as you're going through your university course, but importantly an opportunity to network with other people within your professions, both students plus older professionals. Important for when you graduate and you might be looking for a mentoring relationship, you might be able to make those networks that will enable you to connect with someone down the track as a mentor, which is a really important part of being a professional. Certainly having a mentor is not something that people do just in the early stages of their career as well. It is something that you would want to do across your career, you know, in whatever role and whatever level you're at. Certainly using those networks and working with other peers is important. So when I was a student doing my undergrad nutrition program and wanting to be a dietitian, I really never thought I would go and work in the country. I was a city girl and I really never had been much outside of Melbourne. So the idea of moving to a small country town in the middle of New South Wales was certainly not on my agenda, and it certainly wasn't the type of job in those days that people saw as the best first option. Everybody was expected to go to a big city hospital and work your way up the hierarchy over the next 30 years. So it was quite a big move to actually go and take that job. But it was the best thing I did. So I guess my message to people who are studying now would be, take any opportunity. Any opportunity is a good opportunity. If the job doesn't look to be the perfect job in the first place, don't worry, you can learn lots from any job, and to go in with that open mind is really important. The perfect job will be there over time, but more than likely the perfect job you end up in will be very different to the one you thought that you wanted when you were a student. So I know in the work that I do, the students often come to me on a public health community nutrition placement, and none of them want to be public health nutritionists. They all want to be sports dietitians or paediatric dietitians. And my job in those placements is to really show them how exciting public health nutrition can be. It's very political, it's very exciting, and you can make a big difference. So it's important to keep your eyes open and to look at any opportunity as an opportunity to grow as a professional and to learn, and you'll find what fits for you over time. And like everybody, and like myself, that may change a lot over the 20 years that you'll be out there working.